Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to a very special edition of The Jason Show, a very quiet one. Well, until Stephanie starts talking, right,
And
Steph?
then here I am.
It's kind of another Stephanie takeover episode.
is.
I love this. I basically get a day off, except you're having a party.
Yes, you're coming over to my house for a party. I've got some special appetizers that I made for you.
I'm stopping you because this is the first party I've ever been invited to. I'm just telling you, I don't mean to get off on the wrong foot right away, but this is the first, just go on the record.
Okay, I have been at your house and you had a beautiful holiday display. You had the beautiful plates, you had your Christmas houses.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever reciprocated that evening.
So I get to come over?
That's right.
Well, you better get ready.
I know, I have to get ready.
Bye.
I've got so many things to do.
I know.
All right, okay, I'll see you later. All right, we'll see you soon. I'm making 2 appetizers for Jason. A highbrow appetizer with brie and some sun-dried tomatoes and lots of buttery goodness. And the lowbrow appetizer, well, that's Velveeta and a secret ingredient. I'm gonna head to Kowalski's to get the perfect brie and Velveeta. Let's go. There is a lot of cheese in the grocery store. Okay, I'm here with Joe Moore at Kowalski's Markets. I'm at the Eden Prairie location, so I need to find some brie that you recommend. Also, I need to find some Velveeta, Joe, but I'm not gonna ask you to show me that. I'm gonna find it on my own. Are you horrified that I'm making an appetizer with Velveeta?
Not at all.
Okay.
You do what you need to do.
Yeah, good cheese people know that cheese comes in all shapes and sizes. And if you just walk into the store at Kowalski's, a lot of times they do have cheese samples. They're probably not as fancy as this one. But Joe, what did you make for me?
Little Lucy brie done by Redhead Creamery right in Bruton, Minnesota.
Yum.
What we've done is we've taken and we've bruleed their brie. So kind of a play on creme brulee. We have bruleed brie with the Canestrelli white wine biscuits.
A white wine biscuit.
This organization is out of White Bear Lake, Minnesota, just started producing locally. He's created these white wine biscuits, which are delicious, flaky, vegan. He does them with olive oil.
Oh
so
my
yeah,
gosh.
they're fantastic. They're really good.
They're amazing. How did you brulee it? Did you put brown sugar on it?
A little bit of brown sugar and just taking the torch and bruleeing the top. It's got a safety switch here.
Safety. Oh,
This is it.
that looks
That's
like
all
I
there
could
is
totally
to it.
do that. You didn't even start that paper on fire.
No.
All right, here we go. Do you mind if I try?
Yeah, please do.
Okay, insurance. That's pretty fancy. Look at it bubbling. When you're like a kid, when you get fire, you know you're not supposed to have it, but it's always so much more fun. Yum.
What do you think?
That was amazing. It stands alone. You don't need much. It's one of, I think, the better bries that you can get. All right, Joe, I need you to take me to the cheese case so I can figure out the brie that I'm gonna use for Jason. So,
I think we got you covered.
okay, Joe, I want a cheese that I can put in a skillet with some sun-dried tomatoes and some balsamic and some things on top of it, and it will melt and be really ooey and gooey. So what do you recommend for that?
Yeah, I've got some great ideas. So one option that you could do is the St. Stephen from Four Fat Fowl. That is a
Four fat fowl?
Four Fat
Four fat
Fowl
fowl.
in
Four fat
upstate
fowl.
New York.
Say that fast 3 times.
Yes.
Four fat fowl.
That is a really delicious, buttery brie that would work really well.
One other thing I just want to mention, Rush Creek Reserve, one of my favorite cheeses. It's from a farm in Wisconsin, Uplands Cheese. And also look at this. This is a candied orange. So you don't have to candy an orange, Joe did it for you. This is a platter. They also have a plant-based spread. Look at this just beautiful artisan cheese. It's already decorated. Are these from France?
They are.
Oh, edible dried flowers. Who doesn't want to eat dried flowers? I do. Dried herbs, dried cranberries, for real. Did you know, like, this is my, like, oh, I'm gonna be the cheese person?
It really did call me.
I
you know?
bet.
It sure did.
Yeah, I bet, because the cheese is calling me right now. Okay, now I have to find the Velveeta, though. Good morning, ladies. Do you buy Velveeta? These would be Velveeta adjacent products, I think. Somebody just asked me if I needed help, and I just kept going. Oh, I've seen it. I see it. It's funny that it's kind of by the cured pepperonis. All right, I got it. We're gonna melt this with an entire stick of butter. What could go wrong? Okay, I've got my brie, I've got my Velveeta, but it is not a party unless you have bubbles. So I'm gonna go see the wine diva, the bubbliest of the bubbliest, Leslie. Yay! Hardest word to say.
How do you say it, Leslie?
Sommelier.
Sommelier. I am here with Leslie Miller. She's the sommelier at Sip Better Wines. She also has Amuse Wines, which is a wine consulting company, and Cepage, which is gift baskets. And we are here in your beautiful new shop in the North Loop. I am dying. I'm a big fan of Leslie. She's been on the Jason Show a million times. So are you ready to show me some holiday bubbles?
I am. We have a wide selection of great things that we can use to zhuzh up your holiday party stuff.
Yes. All right, let's go do it. So if you were having a big party, you want to have something bubbly and something festive.
I do love to serve a great inexpensive cava. This is a category where you can zhuzh this up in the way of a cocktail. We have these great little Amaro soaked cherries, and these are so adorable and cute, actually just to pop into your glass.
Okay, so this is an affordable cava.
That's right. Now what I love about cava is that it's really nice and light and lifted, right? Some of that green apple note is here.
It feels festive. It feels like you're not gonna get weighted down with like a big heavy cocktail.
Right. Here with Mosfee, you're spending like $13, $14.
Perfect.
And I love this. The other option, this is delicious. I'm crushing this right now. This is like $12. I know, right? Crushable, crushable. Yeah, this pink is just, I think, to die for. It has that beautiful little softer edge to it. So this is one of those wines that I think would be great for a wide audience. $12
Yeah.
for this.
Leslie, you've got a few more things to show us today.
All right, well, you know that you're gonna have some nerdy people at your party, right?
No, I don't have any friends who are nerds. Wine
No, nerdy
nerds?
about like food and wine.
Yes.
Yeah, right? Like
Food and wine
spirits.
nerds, yes.
Okay,
Yes,
so
yes.
this is the section at my house that I bring out for people that I know that are enthusiasts. How about that?
Enthusiasts. We're not
Enthusiasts.
nerds, we're enthusiasts.
Enthusiasts, yes. So, one, do not sleep on Austria. I think that this...
Never sleep on Austria.
Never sleep on Austria.
Look at how bubbly it is.
And this is Marcus Huber, who makes, I think, just delicious wine in general. And this is actually 10 undisclosed grapes. He won't reveal his grapes, but they're white grapes of Austria.
They're so approachable,
Yes.
like not acidy on the back of your throat.
Right.
And I'm not like a big wine snob, but this is really, it smells fresh and just delightful.
Yes, I think that there are sides to this where you have that big, drippy, runny cheese, and you need that little zip of acid to kind of
Yes.
come through and clean that up.
And we can't even open this because this is what I'm bringing to Christmas Eve. This is a Magnum, right?
is a Magnum.
And what is a Magnum?
Magnum is 750 milliliters, so it's 1.5 liters. This is super sexy.
I think when you walk into a party, like, hey, it's holiday time. I mean, come on, everyone's like, she's the best party host in the world.
This is one thing that you probably don't want to savor, though.
I mean, I don't know anyone that does this in their regular life.
Me, I saber a lot.
You have like a
I have an actual saber. I do. I have a real saber.
new
I know.
Leslie. Moving on to the Champagne region of France, Leslie has brought out the big dogs.
Via Cardamom, this is the wine that I always have in the fridge for my birthday, and I always eat fried chicken and have this with fried chicken.
Whoa.
Yeasty, full-bodied, very textured, very layered, and very developed. And you get those beautiful aromas of raspberry cherry.
So what does something like this run generally price-wise?
You know, champagne is getting to be very expensive due to the fact that we have supply chain issues, plus the weather in the region of Champagne has been very difficult. You're going to expect to pay anywhere from $75 $6 and well beyond. But it depends on what makes you happy, right? And what you want to spend your money on. And always, we only support family-owned wineries here at Sip Better.
You can have a high level of trust when you come in here that you're going to get something that's good, that's reasonably priced, and that's usually a good value.
I love it. Cheers.
Cheers,
to your
Leslie.
perfect holiday season, Steph.
Oh, thank you.
Coming up, I've got the bubbles, the brie, and the Velveeta. It's time to put it all together for my holiday party with Jason.
And we'll see if it's bubbling up. Oh, there we go. Welcome back to a special edition of the Jason Show, where I have taken over for the day. Jason's on his way to my house for my holiday party, but first I've got to make the appetizer, so come on into my kitchen. It is holiday appetizer season. In this instance, we're gonna have like kind of a highbrow brie appetizer for your fancy friends, but we're also gonna make a lowbrow appetizer, which is what our family would eat, with the magic ingredient Velveeta. First, we're gonna make the highbrow appetizer. So we're gonna start by turning on our oven to 350 degrees. 350 degrees, here we go. Start by turning on our oven to 350 degrees. We are also going to toast some almonds in some butter. I've got about a tablespoon of butter in there. So we are going to use a half a cup of almonds, and I like to use slivered almonds because we just want that nutty, buttery, toasty flavor. And we're just gonna brown them a little bit. One of the things that I always do that you shouldn't do, but I always do it, is I stir too much. Because if you're stirring, you don't ever get like any color on anything because you're just stirring, stirring, stirring. So I'm gonna practice patience, and we're just gonna let them get toasty. I can kind of smell the butter browning a little bit. And when they start to brown, you don't want to go too long because you don't want them to get burned. All right, so we've got our toasted almonds. So brie comes wrapped, and with a serrated knife, it makes it easier to cut. You're just gonna cut the top off so that when you pour all this delicious goodness on top of the brie and then stick it in the oven to melt it, it's gonna all be able to flow into the top of the cheese. We are going to chop up some garlic cloves. The recipe says 3, sometimes I use 4. It kind of depends on how big they are. You want kind of a fine chop. You don't want anyone to get a giant hunk of garlic in their mouth because that doesn't make kissing under the mistletoe very fun, friends. You want to make sure that you're holiday ready at all times. We are also going to get our sun-dried tomatoes ready. You can buy them in oil inside the jar, and in this case, they're generally whole, or you can buy them already julienne and cut, and then add oil to them. I'm gonna show you a trick. I just stick my scissors right inside the jar and cut, because I want them to be in smaller pieces. There we go, that was pretty easy. We are going to chop up a little bit of basil. We're gonna do a quick chiffonade.
You spell that?
C-H-I-F-O-N-A-D-D-E, and if you're an English teacher out there and I did it right, you can email me later. All right, so you're gonna take your basil leaves and you're just gonna roll them up and cut them into nice, tight little slivers. We are going to use a half cup of sun-dried tomatoes. Come on, friends. I've cut them all up so they're all snuggled up in there. I'm gonna add a little bit more olive oil so it's got enough moisture in there. Add our garlic in there. A tablespoon of balsamic. We're gonna put it in for 10 minutes at 350. Please don't look in my oven. Oh my gosh, it's so dirty in there. My husband eats frozen pizzas a lot, so there's tinfoil at the bottom with lots of frozen pizza residue. And we'll see if it's bubbling up. Oh, there we go. The garlic is cooking. The sun-dried tomato is releasing its oily juices. Oh, heck yeah. Look at that. I like to keep it in this tight little skillet because then each time a person goes in, they get a lot of that delicious goodness. We're gonna just add a little bit of basil on top so it looks pretty. I'm going to use table water crackers. I like these. You can use whatever crackers you want. And then I would serve a lot of little knives so you don't have the double dip action. How do I think Jason's gonna feel? It's interesting because sometimes he does not like the things I make for him. He's got like very particular tastes. So I think he's gonna like this. I think he's gonna like the highbrow appetizer a little bit more than the lowbrow appetizer, but that's also not surprising. So we made our highbrow appetizer, and now we're gonna make our lowbrow appetizer. This was my dad's favorite appetizer. It's also something that my sister makes every year for Thanksgiving, usually for Christmas too. It is, friends, a giant brick of Velveeta. I'm going to melt a stick of butter in a pan, and then I'm gonna throw in the chunks of Velveeta. And you're gonna put it on like a medium-low heat. You want to make sure that you're stirring because cheese can burn quickly, as can butter. And you know, you get a little separation between the butter and the cheese, so don't let that worry you. Just keep stirring, just keep stirring, just keep stirring, stirring. See how that's all coming together there? We've got our cheese melted. We're gonna put just a couple drops of hot sauce. You can add Louisiana hot sauce, which you can get all over the country. For our Minnesota friends, I love this Lost Capital Foods. They're a local company. I just want a little flavor depth, something a little bit different than just cheese and butter. And then garlic salt. So I'm gonna go with about 1/4 teaspoon, and if I feel like I need to add a little bit more, I will do that in the end. We're gonna add some seafood, because why wouldn't you add seafood? Lump crab meat is what you want to use for this recipe. And just open 1 can of the crab meat, and you're gonna drain it, just like you would drain a can of tuna. We're gonna mix that in, and you serve it on Triscuits. You can serve it with saltines, whatever feels like your jam. And then because I feel like it needs something green, a few little chopped scallions. And now I'm gonna make a special drink for Jason. I'm actually gonna make my own cranberry shrub, and I'm gonna make him a vodka cranberry drink that he's gonna like a real lot. See you soon. You cannot have a holiday gathering without a signature cocktail when your guests come. I'm gonna make something that can be a cocktail for Jason, or could also be a mocktail. So I'm gonna actually make a shrub. And a shrub is a fruit vinegar. So I'm gonna take real cranberries here, about 2/3 cup of sugar, a cup of water.
Merry Christmas.
This is kind of a handy trick. See this little tea bag here? I'm gonna take like 4 cloves and put them in the tea bag so that when the cranberries are all broken down and I'm straining out the solids from the syrup that I want, I don't have to be fishing out little cloves. So I'm gonna literally just put this little sachet right inside my drink mix there. And then I'm just gonna take a little bit of orange peel.
Building lots of bears, making
I'm using the distilled white vinegar, literally the cheapest kind you can buy, because all of the sweetness is gonna come from these cranberries, the orange, and I'm gonna let it cook for about 20 minutes. And I'm just dumping all of the cranberries into the strainer, and look at all of this juice. It is so smelly and delicious in a good way, because it's vinegary, but it's also sugary. You can keep this in the refrigerator for like 2 or 3 months. First, we'll make the mocktail. We're just gonna take about 2 ounces of shrub. I like to do bitters in mocktails. It just gives you this little spiciness, this little something something, a little bit of soda water here. It's tart, it's refreshing, it's got that taste of the cranberry, but it's also a little bit sweet. Now we're moving on to Jason's big boy daddy drink. We're gonna put 1.5 ounces of vodka into our shaker, the orange bitters in there, about 3 or 4 drops. I'm also going to add Cointreau, which is an orange liqueur, 1/2 ounce. And then we go back to 2 ounces of our cranberry shrub that we made, and then a little bit of something effervescent, like soda water, 1 ounce of that. Just like Tom Cruise in Cocktail. It's so good. It kind of tastes like a Cosmopolitan, but it's more orangey and a hint of orange than lime. So it's a little more festive, a little more holidays. Yum, yum.
Up next, Jason's here for my holiday party, and he's trying everything we made in the kitchen.
Do you like it? Happy holidays! Don't I look cute?
look like
Happy
something.
holidays! Something
Happy
extra special.
Okay. Just show me to the bar and I'll be all right.
Okay, what I did for you, Jace,
Uh-huh.
is highbrow, lowbrow,
Like Sears
sun-dried
and
tomatoes.
Nordstrom.
Yes, I made a brie that has a buttered toasted almonds, sun-dried tomatoes. Do you like brie?
I love brie.
Okay, perfect. I knew this would be a good appetizer for you. But what you do for this dish is you cut the top layer off so that all of that unctuous, delicious, olive oily, sun-dried tomatoey goodness gets down into the cheese.
This highbrow is high good.
Yeah.
I taste the garlic.
Hold on.
What now?
I made you a special cocktail because I know you like a cosmopolitan. So I made a homemade shrub.
That you got out of your yard?
I made cranberries that I macerated.
I don't think you can say that on television.
Clove. I added some orange peel. Cheers.
Oh.
I know.
Girl, this was real pink, and I thought this was gonna be real sweet. You scared me, because I was gonna have to tell you the truth. You know I'll tell you if I don't like something.
I know, because you've not liked some of the things I've made on the show.
This is not, you fooled me.
Okay.
Now,
This is the lowbrow family appetizer. This is on every holiday table at the Hansens. It is great served in a crock pot because it stays warm, because it's made with Velveeta. But
I like how you say that with fear.
Well,
most
'cause-
of the people watching have eaten Velveeta.
You know, you're
say
probably
it.
right.
Yeah. Do I use the Triscuit with
Yes.
the Sears dip?
yes,
Is it good?
it's always good. You feel bad, but it's good.
What does it feel, Bob?
How do you feel about crab, Jason? I didn't tell you that was in there.
There is seafood in that, isn't there?
'Cause
you
I-
want me to experience it live?
Yes. Do you like it?
I do.
But it's weird, isn't it?
Weird. Don't misread that, people. It's.
Weird as in unexpected.
I would never think of mixing crab
No.
and Velveeta.
No, you
You're the
wouldn't.
only person on earth. They don't sell crab at Sears. I have a strong feeling about meat in cans. My husband used to make, he calls them college chicken burritos. And it's chicken in a can. And I don't know why. I don't know
That's
if meat.
nasty.
I don't know if meat should be in a can.
Probably not. Unless
Here I am
we're-
eating.
I know.
I gotta tell you, out of the two,
You're going for lowbrow? Highbrow?
I'm going with Macy's over here.
I know. It's
Or
so
Von
good.
Mar. But the next time I come, could there be more guests? Because this is kind of creeping me out. You know what this feels like? Peter Brady's
school?
birthday party. You live an exciting life, Steph.
I do. I do. Well, you didn't think that was going to be it, did you? We have a whole nother half hour coming up of all things cookies, from the giant cookies as big as your head to the super refined and elegant cookies to the cookies that I make at home in my oven. It all starts now with Tina Rexing at T-Rex Cookies. I am here in Eagan with Tina Rexing from T-Rex Cookies. If you're going to do an episode about cookies, you want to go to a place that makes the biggest, the baddest, the most bodacious cookies in the Twin Cities.
What I love about T-Rex is that reaction people have to them. People see them for the first time, they're like, oh my God, those are bigger than my face. Right now, we're in over 1,000 grocery stores. We're wanting to be all national and take over the country.
Bang your ear, making knees get weak.
I am very excited. We have a Christmas crack cookie and your #1 holiday seller, the Buddy the Elf cookie, right?
Yes, it's got all sorts of things in it, from Pop-Tarts to marshmallows.
Because remember the scene with Elf where Buddy made the spaghetti and
Yeah.
put all the things on the spaghetti? Tina does that in a cookie because she's amazing. Let's go make them. I'm assuming, is this the spaghetti?
This is spaghetti. So we put in like white chocolate, so that's gonna go right in here. Marshmallows, mini M&Ms, fudge Pop-Tarts, lots of sprinkles, maple syrup. Squirt that all in there.
And whose idea was it to start making these cookies on TikTok? Because you have seriously gone viral.
You know, it's a lot of my staff because we'll sit around and come up with ideas of like, what should we do next? And this is what the TikTok people like, is watching the mixer spin around.
There it goes.
There it goes.
And then you actually make this into this giant, like, head-sized monster cookie.
Yes.
And now we're on to Christmas crack. A gal in my cookie exchange party actually makes these cookies. They're the classic saltines with a layer of toffee, a layer of chocolate. We've had a lot of debate whether it is an assembled cookie, and are assembled cookies cookies that can come to the party? Do you need to actually bake them? Are they a bar? Are they a pour over? I think in your case, since we're gonna be baking them, it'll count.
Cookies today. This is what makes them crack.
Saltine crackers.
Saltine crackers, we're gonna put those in there.
That combination of salt and sweet is just amazing.
Chopped pecans.
And some people don't put nuts on their Christmas crack. It's kind of up to you, I think.
Chocolate chips. Heath bar English toffee pieces.
This is the magic TikTok moment. These are gonna make excellent half-pound T-Rex cookies. All right, Tina, I know this is our friend Ryan here with his cute T-Rex sweater on. And he is making what looks like a sourdough loaf, but it's just a massive amount of cookie dough.
Yep, this is about 40 pounds of cookie dough.
You can barely even lift it. It is gigantic. Okay, seriously. Holy cats. All right, Tina, we are at the magical part of the cookie making process called balling.
We are going to take just a giant blob of cookie dough, and we have our scales here to make sure, because when we say they're half a pound, we want to make sure they're half a pound. Let's go ahead and roll it and make it into like a hamburger patty.
Oh, okay, I'm good at hamburger patties.
There's a couple ways we can make the dough patties. We can make a ball in your hand.
I have a lot of aggression in my life, so if you can take it out on food, it's a very healthy way. You don't need therapy, you just have cookie aggression.
So now we're gonna wheel these guys into our 280-degree walk-in oven.
Walk-in oven. I don't know why you want a walk-in oven. Oh, so literally you're just gonna push the cart in there.
The rack will raise up off the floor.
This is so cool, these commercial ovens.
There we go. With the magic of TV, they'll be done soon.
So I know from doing a podcast with you that you started as a state fair baker.
Yes.
Did you win any ribbons?
I won a lot of ribbons. I've competed for 17 years. In my early, mid-40s, I decided to change careers and quit my corporate job and start baking cookies.
This is why I love meeting with Minnesota makers, because it's like all of a sudden people decide that they want to do something that they're passionate about. And not that you weren't passionate about your corporate work, but are you glad you made the decision? Like, do you ever look back and think, oh, it'd be so much easier if I just stayed in my corporate job?
Yes.
Of course.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. In terms of like, there's always a moment of the day of like, oh, I should just go back to like a real job. But you know, at the end of the day, I probably wouldn't change a thing.
Oh, look how good they look. And look at the potato chips on the top. Oh, did I call them? Okay. Look at the saltines on top of the Christmas crack.
We're gonna top the Christmas crack with chocolate sauce.
Okay, wait, I'm getting a little too aggressive. Let's try a little more refined technique.
I'll get a little fancier on you.
Okay,
How's
yeah.
that?
See, that's a lot prettier.
There you go.
Okay, calm down. Take your time. Have a Zen experience. Zen experience. Experience.
Are you ready to try one?
I think I am.
Should we start with the Buddy's Elf cookie?
We have the maple syrup. We have the white chocolate spaghetti.
Yeah.
We have the marshmallow, all in there.
Sprinkles.
The miniature chocolate M&M pieces.
Yep.
I'm gonna step back. Ready? What I like is the maple syrup is way more subtle now that it's cooked.
Yeah.
And I can smell it, but it isn't
It's
like.
not overpowering, no.
Buddy would be real happy.
I'm gonna have one of these.
All right.
So here's our Christmas crack cookie. Got the salty, sweet.
I just love salt and chocolate together. It's like the best combination. It's delicious. Thank you, Tina.
Cheers.
Cheers to friends and entrepreneurs and just smart business ladies like you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Up next, we dial in our decorating skills with Icing Art by Mary Bolger.
And you don't want to have too much coffee before you decorate.
Well, too late. Mary. Welcome back to a special edition of the Jason Show, where I am polishing up my cookie decorating skills. We're gonna go visit Icing Art by Mary. She's gonna give me a few tips and tricks, because boy, I need them. I am so excited to introduce you to Icing Art by Mary Bolger. Mary is a cottage baker, and in the state of Minnesota, this law changed recently within the last couple of years that allowed people to have food businesses in their homes. And we've seen a huge influx and rise of cookie decorators. And Mary, I'm obsessed.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, Mary.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I want the cookie itself to be good.
Yes.
Do you use sour cream or almond, or do you have any special things you put in the cookie itself?
I think the most important thing is using lots of butter, and I put almond extract in everything.
So we've got evenly uniform, delicious cookies. Let's talk about the frosting.
Adding a little corn syrup into the royal icing makes a huge difference. It gives that nice, soft bite. The only thing is it takes a little bit longer for the icing to dry. So everything is done step by step.
Without further ado, we're gonna learn how to do these cookies.
You will do a great job. I'm fully confident.
Okay, we've got a fancy piping bag.
Yes, and the key is to just really squeeze all that frosting down and hold it in your hand like this. Let's start with the snowman. Just getting on the edge and squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And you notice I use my left hand to support my right. And you don't want to have too much coffee before you decorate.
Well, too late. Mary!
It's all good. Okay, so then the next thing we're going to do, I just take my watered down frosting, I add a couple of drops of water to it and get it to a nice consistency. I'll put a big blob in the middle, and then I take it right to the edges. It's easy, and then give it a little shake.
It's easy. Sure, Mary!
We're gonna leave those to dry, and then we're going to start with the Christmas tree.
The Christmas tree. I have two going here. Mary has repositioned my bag because cookie number one looks like, again, someone's had too much coffee.
Oh my gosh, that did make a difference.
A little better.
Yeah, so we're just gonna fill with our knives. And this is called wet on wet. It's just when the icing is wet, you're adding your wet icing. You can make big, small, and you can add different colors as well. Squeeze and let go. Squeeze and let go.
Let go. Squeeze, let go. Squeeze, let go.
I have 3 buttons there. So you can place them wherever you like on your snowman.
3. Oh! These could be like little holly berries on the scarf.
Absolutely. I then stick it in the dehydrator, and it just allows you to move on to the next step faster.
Mary, smart. We start to see the snow person come into view.
Oh, that's cute.
Does mine look sinister? A little angry snowman.
We're gonna do the nose. Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
Little much, but you know, some carrots are smaller than others. Okay, Mary, I'm gonna do something that is unauthorized. I'm gonna make this cookie for Jason. Okay.
What do you think Jason would think?
Kinda looks like Jason, Mary, a little bit. All right, Mary, we are nearing completion on the trees.
So it's back and forth, back and forth.
Oh boy. Mary, I should have taken your advice. Look what happens. This is why I have to do 2.
Dab, dab. There you
Dab,
go.
dab, dab. Okay.
I think it looks great.
Yeah, I'm not going to be a cottage baker making money in my home, but I'm going to have delicious cookies that Mary made nonetheless. Yeah. Thank you, Mary. It has been super fun to spend time with you today. You're an excellent cottage baker. I'm so glad that Minnesota changed the rules so people like you can show us your beautiful artistry. Oh my gosh! Oh, Mary! I'm a little verklempt, Mary. Look at that stack of books. It looks like a stack of cookbooks, but it's my cookbook, the True North Cabin Cookbook. So adorable.
Thank you.
Next, I'm making the easiest sugar cookie recipe ever, and I'm putting my new icing skills to the test.
This is what my mom would call a glomper. Welcome back to a special edition of The Jason Show, where I have taken over for the day. We are going to show you the easiest, most delicious sugar cookies, and I'm going to try my hand at decorating because I've got some skills. It is the time where we are making the easiest sugar cookies. 2 sticks of butter in here and a cup of sugar, and I'm just creaming that all together. So use whatever settings you're comfortable with. Honestly, as long as you don't churn it till you make actual like stiff butter, it's fine. Now I'm gonna add 3 cups of flour. Swipe and scoop, that's a term that they use in baking, right? Swipe and scoop. I'm going to turn my mixer back on because I'm gonna add all this while it's going. I'm on a medium speed. And I'm going to add some vanilla, and just like a half a teaspoon, you're just flavoring it, a half a teaspoon of almond extract. When we learned how to make cookies from Mary, we learned that the almond extract is a big part of the flavoring agent in delicious cookies. We're gonna add an egg. Notice that I cracked it in a cup first because then you don't get the shells all in your cookies, though honestly, that has happened to me too. So I've got the baking powder, I had 2 teaspoons, I've got 3 cups of flour, I've got the egg, all the extracts going. Now, flour is gonna kind of go everywhere, so I start on a low speed and I just start tipping the flour and the baking soda in. So you can see, this is a pretty dry dough. It almost looks like sand. So we're gonna take our cookie sand, as it were, literally just dumping this right out on the counter. And what we're gonna do now is bring it together with our hands. You're just warming up the butter as you squeeze so that the dough is starting to come together. I'm gonna show you a trick. If it feels like it's too dry, just get your hands a little moist. It just takes a little while and you kind of get a feel for it. Okay, now we're cooking with gas. Just keep going, just wet your hands, just keep warming it up, and you'll get a nice supple dough eventually that will look like this. I'm gonna throw a little bit of flour on my counter. I use this funny rolling pin. It's a dowel because using a dowel is easier for me. I can get a better grip on it. Get my dowel just a little floury, and we're gonna roll. And I'm rolling right on the countertop. Notice that I kind of go back and forth into a circle shape. I don't press too hard, and I flip. And when I flip, I sort of push my dough back together. Don't get too fussy, don't get too fancy, don't get too crabby like my mom did. It's all gonna come together. The moms out there are laughing right now. This is a bench scraper. A lot of pastry people have these. I just use it because it makes it easy to keep flipping my dough. See, now I have to start again because I ruined it. This is where moms get crabby. We're going for about 1/4 of an inch. Okay, woof, lot of cookie aggression. Okay, Mary, I'm channeling you in my mind. I'm trying to get shapes that are about the same size. One thing that I didn't do with this dough, you guys, is I didn't chill it, because you don't need to. You're gonna get about 3 dozen cookies with this recipe. Okay, I'm gonna put them in the oven for 9 to 10 minutes. If you've got fatter cookies and they look a little puffy, add a minute or 2. I'd like to point out, I cleaned my oven since the last time you were here. Oh, these look real good. See how they've got a little bit of brown on the edge? We're going with Betty. Betty Crocker. Wow, okay. Mary would be proud of me. I know she would be. I'm gonna do the snowman. This is what my mom would call a glomper. I'm bringing in the sprinkles. Zhuzh, zhuzh, zhuzh. 1, 2, 3. Oh! And we're gonna make a frosty lady. This is gonna be the hospitality worker Santa snowman cookie. I know I shouldn't, but I'm going to. Now, what can I use for eyes? Oh, these little sparkly balls. Pretty cute. It's not nothing. Let's make Jason's glasses. Ready? This I think I just made the man from Home Alone. You know, the guy that was the robber with Kevin? I think I just made a Joe Pesci cookie. This would be a true representation of my cookie decorating skills, how I would do it in my own house with my own family, and if you were with me.
Up next, how do my cookies stack up next to T-Rex and Mary Bolger's beautiful cookies? I'm serving them all to a few of my ladies from my cookie exchange.
Welcome back to this special edition of the Jason Show. We've had such a great time in this takeover. My friends are coming over for my cookie party, and we are going to see how they like my decorating skills. All right, ladies, thank you for coming.
Christmas is soon, yeah. Summer soon, yeah.
Are these store-bought?
No, a lady made them, and she
did?
showed me cookie making skills. One of these things is not like the other. Can you tell which one?
That
The
one
little
is.
sad cookie, yes.
Yeah, that one you made.
I did. She gave me all these cookie making techniques, but that was only as good as I could do. Just a good sugar cookie, yeah, with the almond paste and the frosting.
Oh my gosh.
See, this is the thing I want people to know. I look like I'm fumbly fingers, and I for sure am, but it doesn't matter because people just love them.
Look at the detail. You actually took time to put on dots.
I did, the Red Hots. Let's try one of Mary's. Normally when you buy cookies like this, they're not that tasty. Hers are really good.
Heavy on the butter, which I appreciate.
Yes!
What are these loaves of bread cookies we've got going on here?
We went to Tina Rexing's facility for T-Rex cookies.
Yes, those are very good.
They're very good, and I made them into smaller cookies. So these are like, we'll call them quarter pounders. So that's the Christmas crack version that we made at T-Rex Cookies. Those are good. Okay, they pass muster. But I also really still have the feels for this Elf Monster cookie because we made this and it has the maple syrup in it and the spaghetti white chocolate.
I kind of liked this yummy thing.
The Christmas
with
crack?
Yeah.
What about the rosette?
The rosette is beautiful, and I'm telling you, those are putsy to make, so
They're
I
hard.
appreciate that.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
That needs some coffee to dunk in.
Guys, these are good though.
Let's see.
But yeah, they're like French toast.
Boy, if anyone had misnophobia or whatever that is about, they can't handle chewing.
Okay, and I just have to show you here. Show that little Santa, just the saddest. Okay.
Oh, I thought it was a sock.
Who do you think?
snowman.
It is a snowman. Who do you think it looks like though? Can you think? Christmas movie?
Oh, Home Alone.
Yes! Score! She got it. It's Joe Pesci. You guys, it is the holiday season. Thank you for being Cookie Club stalwarts and for helping me with my segment today. Cheers.
Cheers.
I brought cookies. Jason! Hey, there are people here. We have a lot of your bizarre crab dip.
Okay.
And I would hate for it to go to waste.
I won't snort on screen. Oh, sorry.
When you're drinking champagne, the snorts come out. I'm gonna run with them. I have that same shirt. I know. You wanna try it? It's kind of fun. Like if you were in a movie.
Okay.
Get that thing away from her.
I hope I can eat this.
This was our stunt cookie, but yeah, she's eating it.
Welcome back to the Jason Show. I can't remember what I'm supposed to say, but I have taken the show over, and my name's Stephanie Hansen, and I'm glad you're joining us. I am making a real Jason cookie for him. He found me in the corner of the radio station one day and said, "Hey, you look like you'd be someone that can do food segments. Let's do them." Look at his nose. He looks rather studious. There's Jason. I'm gonna just do it. Look out, Michelle. You can find all of today's recipe on stephaniesdish.com, and you can watch them on Jason's channel on the YouTube channel, and watch them on Jason's show on the YouTube channel.